More damning and shocking accusations are being leveled against the embattled and now discredited Sheriff of Augusta County, Donald Smith. This time, though, they are coming from the well-respected and elected Commonwealth's Attorney of the City of Waynesboro, David Ledbetter. The Waynesboro Commonwealth's Attorney stated that Augusta County Sheriff Donald Smith made several false and misleading statements in his October 21st, 2019 press release that he put on Facebook. In other words, he's saying Augusta County Sheriff Donald Smith is a liar. Yesterday, I sent a Freedom of Information Act request to Waynesboro Commonwealth's Attorney, David Ledbetter. I requested all documents, receipts, financial transactions, records, emails, and written correspondence and communications between the Waynesboro-Shenandoah Valley Human Trafficking Task Force and the Augusta County Sheriff's Office. By 5:40 p.m., Mr. Ledbetter had responded to my request with a press release and 14 documents. Those documents and the press release are available to the public and will be posted on the Breaking Through Facebook page shortly after this report is online. The official press release from Ledbetter's office reads as follows. On October 21st, 2019, Sheriff Donnie Smith posted on the Sheriff Department's Facebook page several false and misleading statements relating to the Waynesboro Commonwealth's Attorney's Office and Waynesboro Victim Witness Director, Kristen Crummett. I feel compelled to set the record straight for the citizens of Waynesboro who elected me. In paragraph 3, Ledbetter states that an open invitation was extended to the Augusta County Sheriff's Department and the Augusta County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office to attend a November 5th, 2018 meeting with the Henrico Human Trafficking Team. Several members of the Augusta County Sheriff's Office were present at the meeting, but not Sheriff Donald Smith. Paragraph 4 states that in April of 2019, Director Crummett made several attempts to set up a meeting with the Sexual Assault Response Team and a Homeland Security agent with experience in human trafficking, and stated, quote, in spite of the apparent lack of interest from Sheriff Smith, Director Crummett continued to pursue a meeting between Augusta County Resources and the HSI agent. As shown by the emails posted by Sheriff Smith, she received no response from the Augusta County Sheriff's Office. Then Ledbetter calls the sheriff out again in paragraph 5. Quote, Sheriff Smith's statement includes the assertion that Waynesboro claims to have a human trafficking team. Waynesboro does indeed have a human trafficking team. And the Waynesboro Victim Witness Office, together with New Directions, has identified and dedicated resources to human trafficking victims from Waynesboro and Augusta County, in spite of the fact that the Augusta County Sheriff's Department declined to have a role on the team. In paragraph 7, Ledbetter pounces on Smith again for lying. Quote, Sheriff Smith says his office was not aware of the human trafficking initiative until April of 2019. This is simply false. Numerous Augusta County Sheriff's deputies attended the November 5th, 2018 training. Sheriff Smith received a personal invitation and was asked by the Augusta County Victim Witness Coordinator to engage with Waynesboro on the issue, but declined to do so. End quote. And in the last paragraph, Ledbetter lays into Smith again, stating that Smith had no interest in combating human trafficking until it became a campaign issue. Quote, the sheriff was utterly and totally apathetic toward the initiative until it became an issue in his campaign. Only then did he try to explain his lack of involvement. His explanation is not only incomplete, but also contains factual misrepresentations and omissions. Therefore, in the interest of transparency, I feel it is important to set the record straight and inform the public of the truth surrounding the sheriff's allegations. End quote. Why is the sheriff lying? Why does the sheriff refuse to combat human trafficking in the second largest county in the state? Is it because of his almost decade-long relationship with Felix Chujoy, who we all know was convicted of crimes connected to human trafficking? How many people in or traveling through Augusta County are being victimized by human traffickers simply because our sheriff sits on his hands when it comes to actively and aggressively combating human trafficking? Is the sheriff connected to more human traffickers than Felix Chujoy? Now, we know that the Waynesboro Commonwealth's Attorney's Office released this press release earlier this week to the mainstream media. Why didn't the Stanton News Leader cover this? Breaking Through had to file a Freedom of Information Act request to know it even existed. But the pro-Smith editor at the News Leader and their foot-dragging Sheriff Smith-friendly reporters had this press release for 3 days now and did nothing with it. If not for anything else, they should have reported on it because it has now become a campaign issue. Shame on you, Stanton News Leader. Shame on you, WHSV TV3 and NBC 29. Augusta County voters, do we really live in a community where several editors and reporters at a pitiful liberal newspaper get to decide who and what elected officials we hear from? Every person in Augusta County should ask themselves, why is the local media protecting Sheriff Smith when presented with proof that he is a liar? Meanwhile, the sheriff chooses to protect human traffickers and people charged with online child sex solicitation. Ask yourselves these questions. We have a real crisis on our hands here. We have a sheriff here in Augusta County running for re-election that is being called out by the elected Commonwealth's attorney of a neighboring locality for being a liar. We have a sheriff here in Augusta County who is also engulfed in and the focus of an investigation by a separate neighboring sheriff's department in Nelson County because of his ties to Nelson County Deputy Dakota Funk, who's on administrative leave pending the investigation. By statute, this investigation needs to be handed over to the Virginia State Police or federal authorities. Hopefully, the Nelson County Sheriff's Office has taken that step. My question to the voters of Augusta County is this: how many times does Sheriff Smith have to lie and be called out on it, like he was by federal agent Tammy Ketchum and U.S. Assistant Attorney Heather Carlton, and now by Waynesboro Commonwealth's Attorney David Ledbetter? How many times is it going to take for Smith to lie before you, the voters, realize he is not telling you the truth? He's lied once again. And what's he lying about? Human trafficking. In the Breaking Through newsroom, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.